celebration in the corner of Astrolabio. Let's have a look at some of the action before the end of the fight.
I thought that was the punch that opened the cut.
There, wow, but that was like, boom.
Yeah. See, by this time, the cut had already been opened, but that was the big punch.
Hey, what's up, buddies? Back. So, for this video, pag-usapan natin ang kaisa-isang boksingero na nagpahiya sa akin sa television. Pero bago natin umpisahan dyan, huwag mo munang kalimutang i-click ang notification bell at subscribe. At hindi na natin patagalin to, ang nag-iisang bata ni Manny Pacquiao na sumira at nagpahiya sa akin sa television. Ito nga pala si Vincent astrolabio, at ngayon ay may laban siya sa February 27. So I hope na sana pagkatapos ng laban na yan, ako muna ang susunod. So bigyan nyo naman po ako na rematch. So bago natin dyan simulan, ikwento ko muna yung laban namin. So round 1, round 2, round 3, tinapa muna namin yan at tinignan ko muna kung saan ko siya kukunin.
Fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black with gold, official weight 117 pounds, professional record an excellent one, 9 victories with only 2 defeats, with 5 of his victories coming by way of knockout. He is the former loose prova super flyweight champion, representing ATA Boxing Gym of Tayog, Pangasinan. Gym of Tayog, Pangasinan. Ladies and gentlemen, the bull, Kevin Aseniero. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black, red, white, and yellow. Official weight 117.2 pounds. He has an excellent professional record consisting of 13 victories, only 3 defeats, with 9 of his big victories coming by way of knockout. From MP Boxing Gym, Davao, the reigning and defending WBO Oriental Bantamweight champion, please welcome Vincent Astrolabio. Once again, to give instructions, here's referee Oliver Garcia.
Okay. Boxer.
Mouthpiece. Okay, Vincent, Kevin, comment event to. So gawin nyo itong malinis at magandang laban. Protect yourself at all times. Okay? Good luck. That's a glove.
The current Oriental Bantamweight champion, a very impressive knockout percentage. Kenito winning 9 of his 13 fights via stoppage. His opponent, Aseniero, very determined to score an upset here. And he's coming up early there with that jab. Aseniero.
Well, he's the one who's got the blue gloves, Diane. Aseniero,
yeah, I was just trying to figure out which one was Aseniero. Okay, so Aseniero is in blue gloves and Abio is in the red gloves.
The challenger Aseniero putting up here a big fight against Astrolabio in an effort to wrest the WBO Oriental Bantamweight Championship.
Okay, so we have a very chiseled upper body there of Astrolabio. Look at that. You can see like every muscle, every rib there. So both of them trying to establish the jab early on. Quite tall for this division, don't you think, Kenito? For Filipino standards anyway. And this is our co-main event for the evening. And we hear that Senator Manny Pacquiao is on his way to the San Andres Sports Complex.
So far, it's been Astrolabio throwing that left jab, spearing Aseniero, not giving Aseniero an opportunity to unload any of his punches, just keeping him at bay. Aseniero.
Astrolabio with his hands up and looking quite composed here in the first round.
And being very busy, throwing those jabs. Aseniero hardly showing any offense so far. That was the first shot that he threw, a left hand.
There are some spark into the punches of Astrolabio in red gloves. Filipino versus Filipino here.
Now, earlier you talked about the knockout power of Astrolabio. Back in April, he did knock out Patrick Lyokoto of Indonesia to win the WBO Oriental Championship.
I remember him from the Malaysia fight
That's right.
in the Asiata Stadium in Kuala Lumpur. Although he lost that fight to the Japanese Kobayashi.
Yes.
Since then, like you said, his last fight was in Indonesia, and then he's mostly fought in the Philippines and also in Japan. I can see here from his record. He's won his last fight but lost the fight before. So a little bit up and down boxing there from Astrolabio.
A rather uneventful first round, Diane.
Yep.
But I thought Astrolabio got that round because he was a little busier, he was a little more active, especially with that left jab.
More oomph in his punch, so though both fighters were trying to feel Astrolabio, the more aggressive. There he is.
And that was the best four-punch combination thrown there by Astrolabio. And Kevin Aseniero, you see him on your screens now. That challenger, and that's Astrolabio. Going to be a good one. We're expecting fireworks in this one. You know that both of these fighters like to score knockouts. 5 knockouts in 9 wins for Aseniero, and 9 knockouts in 13 wins for Astrolabio.
Here we move into round 2 as we see Vice Mayor Buboy Fernandez, of course, from Team Pacquiao in the corner of Astrolabio, who is the defending champion in this Oriental Bantamweight fight.
And for Aseniero, you want to see some adjustments. He didn't show too much offense in round number 1, so you need for him to pick up the pace here. They're almost mirror images of each other.
They actually look alike, even their physique, even their...
They have a very similar style. Both of them like to lead off with the left jab. Both are lengthy.
Yeah.
What you also want to see, as I was saying, some adjustments on the part of Aseniero is maybe a little bit of foot movement.
Right, yeah, a little bit more side to side.
They're standing face up towards each other.
They have very similar head movement.
Yes.
Right?
It makes for a very interesting matchup. As you see Astrolabio trying to pick up the pace a little bit here with his combinations. I think that's going to be key in this fight. Both fighters now going to the body.
Yes.
And then an uppercut coming from Astrolabio. And the key here is the combination. You're throwing left jabs, both these fighters, but you need to be able to put those punches together.
There's a good right there from Aseniero.
But just one punch.
Yeah, just one punch.
He needs to put it together.
A little bit more combinations being seen from Astrolabio. And both of them trying to time their punches. They're moving, they're bobbing, moving their head.
I think both fighters also showing good defensive technique.
Both hands are up.
It's also the reason why they haven't been able to hurt each other so far. Their defense has been holding up.
A little bit conservative here, both fighters.
I think someone has to step up. The way things are going here, someone's got to put the pressure on the other. Crowd, take a chance, move inside, and it could be Astrolabio right here.
Astrolabio picking up the pace.
But then
last exchange.
But those punches landing on the gloves of the very defense-minded Aseniero.
Last 10 seconds of round 2.
No hard connection so far. It's been tactical here in this 10-round fight.
The crowd is definitely warmed up here for the showdown in Manila. Brought to you by MP Promotions. That's the Manny Pacquiao Championship Boxing. And we are coming to you live from Manila, the Philippines. Let's have a look back at the last 3 minutes. Oh, solid left there from the challenger.
That got through, that left jab, and then the overhand left. And see, these punches being thrown by Astrolabio are landing on the gloves of aseniero.
So good defense from aseniero, but I think he needs to show a little bit more if he wants to take this out. Well, both of them need to pick it up.
More activity now with the left hand for Kevin the Bull aseniero.
That's aseniero in full black shorts and blue gloves. Astrolabio in red gloves and Philippine flag colored trunks. Tries to let go of combinations. Oh, slip there, aseniero.
You get the feeling that aseniero is inviting Astrolabio to a corner along the ropes. And he's very confident with his defense. Astrolabio is not able to hurt him. Yeah. The problem is defense is not going to win you fights. You need to throw punches.
That is the sport of boxing. You got to hurt your opponent, not just defend. Well, defend well and then attack. So there's Astrolabio, I think, trying to be a little bit more aggressive, trying to get through the defense of aseniero. 1-2 there from the challenger.
I think either fighter has to take a chance. The way things are going here, this fight is up for grabs. Here we go, Astrolabio.
Solid body shots now. Astrolabio going for the midsection. Aseniero tries to counter. Haven't seen a really solid connection there from aseniero.
And the problem is, since both these fighters are facing up to each other, it's difficult to be able to create an angle for a good shot.
Right, they're not really, neither of them are trying to get.
Then they can start hurting each other, especially to the body.
This is our co-main event here. And we hope you're enjoying the boxing. We saw some explosive fighting in our earlier fight. Main event is coming up after this. It's going to be the Philippines versus Mexico.
That time a nice right uppercut scored by Astrolabio.
There,
oh,
solid
nice right hand.
there.
Now the defense is beginning to open up.
Yep.
And
hands have come down a bit.
Right, and the defense will open up when both these fighters start throwing punches, because that's when the defense will open up.
Okay, aseniero there, trapped in the corner. And that's the end of the round. Okay, let's have a look back here at the round that was. Is aseniero missing on that left counter, slipping. Solid right from Astrolabio, getting through the defense. That was one of his best punches so far, Kinito.
I thought that was a telling blow. Right there, through the defense of Kevin aseniero. But so far, neither fighter has been able to establish control of the fight. And that's important. Whoa, look at John Riel Casimero.
Sporting his new haircut that they say helped him make weight yesterday. Came in at a 0.8 pounds over the 118 limit. He went under the sheets, got the steam on, and came back.
So round 4, nakakapag-adjust ako. At round 5,
exactly 118 with a new haircut, 2 hours, 2 hours later. Well, hair doesn't really weigh, does it?
No, no. But here's round number 4 now.
I wish to see a little bit more side-to-side movement there. Both fighters taking a little bit more chances.
You know, I
Trying to
also
create
see.
something different.
I think we can expect some fireworks now because the distance between these two fighters is now
As it opened
shortening.
up a bit, yeah.
It's now shortening, so they're coming closer to each other. And when that happens, you're going to be seeing some defense opening up. You're going to see both fighters now exchanging, trading. Exactly what happened right there.
Exactly, right there. Oh, nice
shot.
left counter there from aseniero. Jab from Astrolabio comes through, just a one-shot attack. Fighters take a breather. Aseniero on the ropes.
Now you see they're very close to each other now. So you wonder which fighter will have the advantage in this kind of fighting when there's not too much distance. Astrolabio throwing that left jab.
Keeping his hands up
Yeah.
at the same time and then trying to counter. Aseniero a little bit more aggressive here in the last couple of seconds. Body shots there. 3 rights from Astrolabio. Aseniero covers up, tries to counter, uppercut. As we've been saying, similar styles from both fighters, right, Kinito?
Yes, very similar. Astrolabio, however, is now beating Aseniero to the punch. This is a good round so far for Astrolabio. He feels he has an advantage if he comes closer to Aseniero.
Just under a minute left in round 4. Scheduled for 10 for the WBO Oriental Bantamweight Championship held by Astrolabio.
Aseniero now having a little bit of difficulty finding his range. He took some shots early in this round, and Astrolabio is coming in. I think his confidence level is picking up. We're talking of the defending WBO Oriental Bantamweight champion, Vincent Astrolabio.
Well, he has the belt. He's got to show something more. Meantime, both fighters sweating profusely here in Manila. Although it's raining, it's still very, very humid. Still, oh, there's Aseniero taking a couple of punches as we see the end of the round. All right, let's take a look back. Fighters close to each other. There's Aseniero in blue gloves.
That time a left hand connected by Astrolabio. I thought he might have won that last round, Diane, because of that late flurry. In the last few seconds after that 10-second clapper sounded, Astrolabio went into high gear, scored with some punches, might have done enough to take that round from Aseniero.
Ano yung technique ko sa round 5? Sa round 4. So yung gumana na yung technique ko sa round 4, round 5 mag-uumpisa na sana kami. And doon na nga, nagkaroon ako ng headbutt.
And what an interesting aperitif this is, Diane, to our main event.
Yes, that's
We're looking
Janriel
forward.
Casimero, the interim champion in the same weight division. Oh, and meantime, aggressive start here for Astrolabio, and a bit more combinations we're seeing.
And you know, that's all it took. A
Yeah.
surge of energy coming from Astrolabio to start this round. A show of aggressiveness, catching
Yes.
Aseniero off guard.
And now it's been an all Astrolabio show.
Yeah.
We can see Aseniero visibly hurt by the volume punching of Astrolabio. And that
And we did say that the confidence level of Astrolabio was rising
I
from
saw
the
that
first
even in
round,
the break, yes.
rather from the previous round.
left counter.
Oh, nice shot. Big
he
shot
did
coming
big
from
right, and then he holds
Aseniero.
on.
Yeah.
Ooh, the crowd
but-
reacting
yeah.
to that punch.
But Astrolabio
Ooh.
taking that punch. Now there's
Yes.
a lot of blood coming from that cut.
Yeah, and you can see him visibly, I think his
Yeah.
vision impaired And so the referee is calling for a break and they're gonna check out that cut. And
But, nagkaroon ako ng cut dito. Yan. Dito siya nagkaroon. So, mahirap yan pag dyan kasi diretso yan sa mata. Okay lang sana kung dito kasi bababa pa yan. Dadaan pa dyan. Yan. Kung dito, mahirap talaga yan. So, pagdating ng brinik ng referee, sabi ng referee, pinapatingnan sa doktor. And then after nun, pagkatingin ng doktor, sabi ng doktor na baka hindi na baka mahirapan ako sa laban.
You can see him really bothered as the blood.
And that's not a good sign.
Yeah.
And you see aseniero, he's blinking. Blood is...
Oh, it's very close to the eye.
And it's
like...
the blood is clearly obstructing his vision.
Yeah. Right below the left brow.
Now you've got two ringside physicians looking him over. Watch it right here.
Let's have a look at that punch. Oh, it was already...
By that time, the cut was open.
Wow.
But that was a big shot. Yeah.
Big right. But then he holds on after that.
But you see astrolabio, the way he stood and took that punch, he did not even flinch. He didn't flinch. He didn't take a step back, and they stopped the fight. And this is going to be a technical knockout victory here for astrolabio. They stopped the fight. Ringside physician recommending that the cut too deep, unfit to continue. And referee Oliver Garcia calling off.
Kasi diretso talaga. So sinabi ko na ano bang magandang kuan dito. Sabi ng referee, decision. And then doon ako nadismaya kasi pag sabi ng decision, scorecard talaga yun. But ang naging hatol nun is TKO ako. So
Ladies and gentlemen, after 1 minute and 34 seconds of the 5th round, we have a winner by technical knockout, Vincent Astrolabio, still WBO Oriental Bantamweight Champion.
dito ako nadismaya talaga sa laban na to. At sana bigyan ako ng rematch.